What's up, everybody? Circus here, coming at you with this week's Rye Report. I got Ryan here
That's true.
because he seems the most logical person to have here for the Rye Report. What do you think?
It would be weird to have anyone else.
It would. So that's why I brought Rye in here. And we got a lot to talk about, I think. Do we?
Yeah, we got
I
we got a
mean,
decent amount, I
I,
think.
I, I think we could just be like, meta's good. Peace. And then we're
Meta
done.
is good.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's been obviously the introduction of Gaia,
Yep. Yep.
kind of the leaving of Fire Kings a little bit. We'll have to officially see because I believe the first power rankings we had only had like a half a week of Gaia, where this one's
Mhm.
actually gonna have like the
A
full
full
week. So we'll
week.
have to
Yep.
see. But from what I've seen, it's just really hard to rely on like that Destiny draw cheese when Guy is around because you can't activate hand traps when he's
Right.
in the metagame, right? So, and logically, you want to stray away from using those decks. And I don't think we've seen Fire King in like the top 8 all week yet. So,
Oh, I
which
would.
has only been like 2 tournaments, but whatever.
Well, I'd say it'd probably knock out Yusenju's too, because Fire Kings and
Yeah, probably.
Yusenju's kind of like have their fates tied together because they're
Yeah.
different decks, but they're similar strategies.
At least
You know,
Yosenju can like use Sword Sting and stuff.
before the battle phase or whatever,
But the
right? But
problem with that is just if you bounce it back, it's just gonna get resummoned. You know what I mean? They don't summon as fast as like a Resonator where they're gassed in 2 to 3 turns. It takes they have like 6 monsters in there that negate all your hand traps, so they can go for a long time before they're gassed.
because they'd have to do it
Um,
like it is the start of the battle phase, because it's once they attack, right? Or is it just once you're into the
it's no,
battle
it's
phase?
just straight up the battle phase. As soon as they enter the battle phase,
Oh, okay. So
you
you got to
cannot
do it
activate
before.
anything.
So you got to do it during their main phase, which
Yeah,
just
no,
gives them more opportunity to keep
Galloping
summoning.
Gaia is the new Stromberg. No one reads it because it literally they keep misplaying into it. It's crazy. Like the moment your opponent enter, and you'll get a message says your opponent's about to end the main phase or whatever. And when that happens, that's it.
It's
That's
over.
you
It's
you can't
over.
activate anything. So if they see lethal, you're dead. So it's funny because people were complaining on Twitch about like hand traps and stuff, and I was looking around like I don't know, guys, hand traps are kind of dead right now
Right.
with this deck around. And so the meta can be impact. Just having that one deck be a threat can cause you to be in these scenarios where they don't have to deal. They just don't want to play those decks because they're scared of getting countered.
So I'm just gonna
Um,
throw out a random scenario. You let me know. Let's just
yeah,
say I have like a fusion monster on the field and I want to boost it with Alistair in the battle phase. Would
yeah.
that work?
No, you could do it in the main phase and then go into your battle
But like
phase,
if I
but
attacked in,
uh,
in my like let's say my attack was lower than your monster's attack, I'm gonna
uh,
attack in. I'm gonna boost it in the damage step. Does that
would
work?
you say this monster attacks while he's in defense mode, but uses attack for the damage calculation?
Make sure to
Oh,
watch our
goodness.
tournament video from the Unlimited tournament if you want to get that
I love
joke.
the unlimited tournament.
Yeah,
It's so
those
good.
are a lot of fun. Anyway, so Gaia is definitely having an impact. We were kind of worried at first, is it going to work well? But then they come out with this broken skill, and
That's how you
the
do it.
decks don't have to be like super overpowered. I think we have so much like history built up in us. It's like if a deck doesn't come out and just immediately like just choke all the other decks to death,
Yeah,
like we're
it's just
thinking
not.
it's
Well,
not
we
going to be
went through like a
good.
whole year where just every new deck that came out was just stupid broken. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Or can it fight Dark Lords? It's like, well, Dark Lords is like the best deck ever, you know?
yeah.
Where now
Well, I
it's
don't know.
like,
I think Gaia it's definitely not the best deck in the game. I'm willing to say that, but it definitely is a welcome addition to the metagame, I think. Because a lot of people thought, oh, Cyber Dragon is going to be the best deck.
mhm.
Again, like I don't know how many times I have to repeat this after KC Cup. The KC Cup format is not. First of all, it's not competitive. I'll be honest there. It's not a competitive
What?
format. The competition of KC Cup comes down to your deck building and how quickly you adjust your deck in 3 days span and how tired you get, essentially, right?
Right.
But the actual competitive, as if like whatever deck wins, doesn't necessarily mean that is the best deck. It just means that was the deck that scored the most points. Like it
Right.
won the fastest, lost the
Cyber
fastest.
Dragons is not the best deck right now.
Cyber Dragon is not the best deck
Okay.
right now. Yes, it sucks when you get cheesed by them and they just OTK you, but it's really not the best deck right now.
Right. I think right
Uh,
now, if your deck can have a consistent turn one combo, you can compete.
Pretty much, yeah, and pretty much all the
Right.
anime decks, they're getting skills that make them, and it's one of those trends that we keep seeing, and we're just kind of waiting because like the first anime deck to come out that doesn't get a consistency skill will be Konami changing their strategy again. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's a wonky time because it's like every time you see an anime deck, like right now, Gimmick Puppets, you look and you're like, oh, that's not a good deck right now from what you're giving me in the leaks, but this is an anime deck.
We're
So
gonna
are
get a
you going
skill.
to give us a skill? Because if you that's
Event
what you've been
cards,
doing,
yeah.
yeah. And if they could easily make it just a broken deck by just giving it the proper skill.
I think a lot of the decks that we're seeing, we talk about this a lot on the channel is like if you have a new deck, you got to be able to do a turn one consistent play, and then your deck needs to do like one of three things, right? Like search, pop, or destroy, or I'm sorry,
Yeah,
search
it just
or
needs it
protect
just
or whatever.
needs yeah.
You got to
Need
draw
to either
cards.
be able to control your opponent to death
Yep.
or have like that punching power to end the
Right.
game
You got to be
before
able to
your
pop
opponent's
one of their
strategy gets going.
cards, draw one of your cards, or search one of your cards or whatever.
Yeah.
And as long as
Yeah.
you can do that, you're going to be fine. But if you just come out with a deck that's like, I normal summon, set 3 and pass. Your turn, sir. You're going to lose. And all the decks that are coming out now do those things. They can search, they can pop, they can
Yeah.
draw.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where the meta goes. I think, and to be honest, if the only meta shift is literally we're removing stall decks and putting Gaia in their place, but we're keeping harpies, we're keeping resonators, we're keeping. I think that's perfect. I think that's. Yeah, I'll be
Right.
honest. I'm not a huge fan of stall decks. I think they're not fun to deal with.
I think this is opening up the meta so other decks can play.
Yeah,
Because you're not like as soon as you see a Shiranui, you're just like, man, this guy doesn't even want to enjoy the game because he's gonna set 3 back row, and it's all gonna be generic. Whereas like some of these, like right now, Witchcrafters and Gaia are on the screen. The only spell and trap cards on the screen are specific to their archetype, which is
I
so
think that's
much
awesome.
nicer. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, we can play the game.
Yeah, even if it's like it's something that's like really broken, it's like, well, only that deck can play that broken thing, so that's cool with me. I guess the only other really thing to talk about the metagame is we are 120% in a Book of Moon meta, you know what I mean? Like, and not that we haven't been since it's come out, but right now, if you have triple Book of Moon, you are playing triple Book of Moon.
It's
Uh,
the new
it's
econ.
it's it's not like Floodgate and Canadian how it was like, ah, well, I'll probably only play two, or no, you're just flat out playing three. If you have the opportunity, you just play three. It's just so good, and also like it's good for putting monsters face down to pop them, so you can go over protection effects. It's good for putting a monster in defense mode, so you can then follow up with some piercing damage, like if you're in Gaia or something, with concentrating current or something dumb like that. It's good. It's just good. It's just so good right
Mm-hmm.
now.
We're watching Witchcrafters, which made me think of negating. A lot of the times we're saying decks need to search,
Nigart. Yeah.
search, pop, draw, or negate is another one, right? Like I'm just glad there's
Yeah.
not a lot of negating decks out there, because
Right
like
now,
the other
just
ones you can deal with when it's negate. Oh,
yeah.
that's just the worst, right? That's the hardest one to play
Yeah.
through.
It's interesting because Konami does like to kind of stray away from negates, but there is a healthy way of doing them. For example, I think Doom Caliber is a very healthy way to do negates because that's just mandatory. The first effect that
Right,
goes off
and then
is
it's
negated. So
gone. Yeah.
yeah, so your opponent can either play around it, or if you forget, you accidentally negate your own effects. So that just happens like that. Where Witchcrafter was just an AOE negate whenever you wanted.
Well, just
Dark
watching this
Lords, obviously
this poor
constant.
Gaia player trying to get through this Madam Veer that's out on the field. It's just like, what do
Yeah,
you want me to do?
yeah. That Book of Moon. That's what you're supposed to do.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, if you don't have Book of Moon, you're kind of stuck like this poor guy is. He's just like, oh no. Maybe he's waiting to draw into it. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. So if you want to know what happens, make sure to check out our Twitch streams. This kind of stuff happens all the time, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, Witchcrafters making a comeback a little bit. So people were mad that
Yeah,
we weren't shouting them out. So Witchcrafters.
there was that grit witchcrafter that we saw in Casey Cup. I don't, whatever, man. I think it also won a Meta Freakly or something. I don't know.
Right. So
Witchcrafters are one of those decks right now where if your mills aren't good, the deck won't be good. But if it's good, it's just not consistent. If it was more consistent, it'd be broken. But it just
turns
isn't.
out Witchcrafters won the duel, you guys. Sorry. Gaia tried its best but couldn't play through that negate without a Book of Moon. Aw.
Yeah.
All right, we're probably gonna get out of here then. You should get in our Discord because it's free. Terms are free. The new player help is free. Let us know in the comments below what you think of this meta. We keep singing its praises, so hopefully we can continue to do that at least through
Yes,
summer.
please. Hopefully, we know this ban list is gonna come out. Everything is gonna be weak again. We're gonna be playing Dinosaur Order to Charge. Oh
Oh
my god.
god. No, no, no. All right. We're gonna get out of here. I'm Circus. That's Rye.
Goodbye.
And we'll see you next time.